Welcome to the Yoked Podcast. I'm your host, Travis Hall, alongside my wife and co-host, Ingrid.
On this podcast, we talk about all things real estate, entrepreneurship, business, faith, family, you name it, we talk about it, and how we do it all as an equally yoked husband and wife team.
We are glad you're here. Thanks for listening. Enjoy this week's episode. What's up? Welcome to the Yoked Podcast. Thank you for joining this week.
Thank you.
Episode number 30.
30.
It's a big deal.
It is. This is commitment.
It's commitment. We're doing it. Episode 30. We're excited.
And our first book club.
Our first book club.
I'm excited for that.
So we'll hit the book club at the end.
Yeah.
We always joke that, okay, this is going to be a shorter episode, and then they hit like 30 minutes. And I'm like, oh my gosh. So today, let's see what happens.
Yeah, no, it's really going to be shorter. We promise.
All right. So question for you, babe.
Yeah.
When I say Jackson Hole, what do you think of?
Jackson Hole, Wyoming. I think of a mountain town in
Right?
Wyoming, right outside of the Tetons and
Same.
Yellowstone. And
I asked because in today's world, right now, Jackson Hole and the money side of things, it's like a big thing. It's like Allen and Company, remember Allen and Co. back in Sun Valley?
Sure.
So like the Federal Reserve like holds they call it the Jackson Hole Symposium right now. It's basically like the market money people, like Super Bowl. So like statistically, if, whatever the Fed hints at Jackson Hole Symposium, like the market reacts. So the market is, it depends on which channel you're watching, I guess, but is favorably reacting because they're hinting at rate cuts.
Sure.
They re-hinted at rate cuts again because they kind of.
Sure.
Yeah, Jackson Hole happened and the announcement was on Friday. So this past Friday, and yeah, they're
when
going back
to. When does the Fed meet in September?
It is. I don't know what day. I don't remember which day, but
mid-month.
It is the much anticipated September meeting coming up.
They said 85% right now.
Who knows? Who knows what we're gonna do? But Jackson Hole, they did hint at some rate cuts, and they're changing to flexible inflationary targeting. Went back to that. So pre-pandemic,
sure,
they were doing that, and now in the last couple of years, they did away with it because the inflation went up so high. So it's interesting. You talk about that a little bit. Today, we want to talk about some more like hyper local things with the Denver Metro.
Yeah, people
market.
like our take on like digesting some of the information from the market and then like talking about it. So
shocker.
Thank you, people, for encouraging us to talk about markets.
Right. Oh, and it's just interesting, and people want to know, like, because we are investors. We just bought a flip last week. In our last episode, we talked about that. We're actively in the market, and then we also help people buy and sell. And so it is interesting, kind of our take in the Denver Metro, and then there are in the national stuff as well. But today we're going to talk about Denver Metro and the pros and cons of being in the market right now. But man, as a buyer, it's amazing. If you are a buyer right now, power to you, because there's opportunity there.
Advantage. And honestly, if you're doing both in this market, power to you, because you might give up, equity on the sell side. But if you have the right team working towards you and you're finding the right property, there are some deals on the buy side.
Right.
And you can truly take advantage
of it. And we have a couple clients doing that right now.
Yeah.
Both buying and selling. So I want to talk about some stats.
Okay.
Because I was reading an article that came out recently about Denver Metro, and it was about the Denver Metro, and it was all about large metro cities in the U.S. and how inventory is going up. Denver, good or bad, I don't know. It took the cake for the most amount of inventory increase.
I bet it did.
since pandemic era.
Sure.
And so it is up. It's over double now. From where it was significantly. It's up 100% according to this this article. And so I was doing some looking, and currently we are over 13,000 homes on the market in the Denver Metro. There's multiple counties.
Yeah.
Denver Metro,
counties.
13,000 homes on the market as of today.
That's a lot.
It's the highest since 2011. The lowest for, just for perspective, was April of 2021. And we were just shy of 2,500 listings.
I was going to say, I think we were just shy of 3, but I was off by 500. Okay, 2,500.
Yep, just shy of 2,500. In the entire metro, and again, right now, we're over And so it is a big difference. We're up. I mean, last year in May, I think some of these data was from May in the article. I pulled my own data just today. But in May of 2024, we were just shy of 10,000. So we're 3,000 more than we were then last year.
I think a lot of sellers, like the market turned last May, and it was not favorable. And that was after another year not favorable. And so I think there are a fair amount of people right now as we enter September saying, I'm not waiting anymore. I'm done.
Exactly. Oh, and like rates keep trickling a tiny bit down, then they come back up. And so we're like 6.52 on average today, depending which we use Mortgage News Daily as our general interest rate that we're looking at. So that way it's always the same. But it is interesting. So I have some more stats to look at because from a buyer standpoint, like some of this comes from us working with sellers right now and seeing the buyers come in. We talked last week about how buyers are just like doing a lot of research and like really thinking and thinking more and thinking
and then they want to think for another day.
And so I know what we are feeling. And so the listings that we have that we're currently talking about, they're in the higher price point whenever you look at the median, right? In the Denver metro median, you're in mid sevens, and these are $1 million plus.
Yeah.
Okay. And so it does help to know. And these that we have are more skewed than the current stats that I'm going to show. And you have not seen these stats that I put together.
No, this is exciting.
It's just interesting, and it's painting a picture. It's kind of painting a picture, a dismal picture if you're a seller. It's a bummer picture, maybe a realistic picture, which is hard for me.
I know.
But it paints an extremely optimistic picture if you're a buyer.
I love this.
So, are you ready?
You're going to turn everyone into a buyer by the end.
Everyone's going to go buy properties in Denver. Okay, so I pulled stats. This is simply just closed houses, single family homes in the Denver metro. So I'm at the crux of I-70, I-25, and I go out 16 miles.
Detached.
The detached single family homes. That's what we're talking about. There's 1,807 that have closed in the last 30 days.
Okay.
It's closed.
It's not very many.
Closed on the market, right? The average close price falls in line with our median of $783,000. So that's painting the picture of what the house is. It's good. I mean, the highest one was $9 million. Lowest was like in the threes.
Okay.
83. And again, the sample size is over 1,800. So definitely helps. All right. The interesting piece is, what would you guess was the actual price reduction from what they originally listed at to what they closed at?
We're talking about percentage?
Yeah.
Is it dismal?
I mean, it's solid. I mean, it's not awful.
Okay. 4.
Close. 95.9%.
Okay.
So just over 4%.
4%, yeah.
However, the kicker that you and I look at all the time when we're running comps on flips is concessions. Mm-hmm. Because the thing about a concession, for everyone that's not an agent, or if you're an agent, you should look at concessions, is concessions isn't shown publicly.
Well, in Denver's MLS now, they just changed it, and it is shown publicly.
So like the average buyer that doesn't have MLS access can see the concession amount.
Oh, you mean like Zillow?
Right.
No, those are based on the syndicated platforms.
Right. You need to be an agent to understand and know what something sold for concession and what a concession is.
But they're calculating it in now on like RE Colorado is giving you a place to do that. They didn't used to. And that's new in like the last like months.
Got it. Well, still, you kind of need to be an agent to understand.
For sure.
It definitely helps like knowing what the concession is. And so good question, everyone. What is a concession? A concession is simply added funds that the seller is giving to the buyer in addition to any price reduction. Easy math. You close your home at $500,000 and you give $5,000 in concessions. Public record shows you sold for $5,000. You paid all your fees based on $5,000. Excuse me. You paid everything on $500,000, but then you're giving an immediate $5,000 extra. So your net is $495,000, but everything's based on $500,000. And so again, going back to these stats, $183,000 as the average price sold, just over 4% price reduction from where they originally listed and where they actually closed. 62% of those solds had a concession. The average concession
God.
was $7,000. Was 1%.
That's the average?
That's the average concession
Wow.
out of all of them.
That's
The
actually
highest
higher than I
concession
thought.
was $54,000 on a $400,000 house.
That's a sewer line
That's
right
a
there,
sewer line,
baby.
there's a roof. So
New-
much. I don't know how that even works, but it is crazy. It's zoomed out, 6% off.
Okay, so people, though, are likely not using these concessions for sewer lines and stuff. I
They
mean,
are
maybe the big
using them
ones.
for mortgage rate buy
Buy
downs.
downs, yeah. And are you seeing 3-2-1 buy downs, or are you seeing more permanent buy downs?
In the last year, 2 years, we've seen a lot, mostly 2-1 buy down. So 2% mortgage rate buy down from the first year and
Mhm.
1% the second year.
Yeah.
We've just started getting offers for 3-1 buy downs. And so, I mean,
Yeah.
it's significant. It's a significant buy down. It's amazing for the buyer because their effective rate just dropped significantly. And they're banking on, especially with the current sentiment, they're banking on in the next couple of years, they can
Refinance.
easily refinance. That's the hope.
But do you really think rates ever get back down in threes?
Not threes, but I think they'll get in the 4s and 5s.
You do?
Fives for
Okay,
sure.
all right.
Isn't that crazy though?
That's crazy.
And so my question is, are we feeling this? What I just said.
Yes, to the max.
And so knowing what I just told you as far as the average home zoomed out and like average is closing for $40,000 under their asking price. And again, that's averaging all of them.
Mm-hmm.
But whenever you average all of them, 6% of your average price is 40 grand.
That was crazy.
Crazy.
Honestly, though,
And it's
like
amazing if you're a buyer right now.
amazing. And I think it's amazing for the market because we need like some more elasticity to the market.
Mhm.
Since COVID the last 5 years, and now we've seen it like change in the last few years, but rates have been changing so rapidly, more rapid than any other time in history. Usually it's slow, slow, slow up, slow, slow, slow down. They changed so fast down and then they changed so fast up.
Right.
It's so rapid that it is really difficult for the market to react. And I also think like buyers, they are the most educated they have ever been.
There's so much information.
There's so much information and
That is good.
they have all the information. So like we said last week, I mean, they come in and they want to know, the age of the filter and the manufacturing date that you put in your HVAC. But also
Right.
they're coming in like assured more so, I would say. Now we saw a ton of contracts fall out, like 1 in 4 contracts, right?
Mhm.
Were falling out. And to me, that is so interesting. Like those don't match.
Right. And I think that's slowed down. I'd be curious talking to a title person if that has slowed down a little bit with
I wonder.
because buyers are getting, arguably pretty good deals right now.
Yeah.
And so if you have secured a screaming deal and you would not as likely fall out of contract because you have a good deal.
Yeah.
It's interesting. I mean, we have a client that is buying a house. The sellers of their property bought it for what, $600,000 more than they are under contract right now.
Yeah.
And they bought it 3 years ago.
But we're talking about big price
points, but still,
Yeah.
$600,000.
I know.
I mean, I feel bad for those sellers, and obviously life still happens. And so when you have to sell your property, you have to sell your property regardless of what it's at, if you can do that. And so it's just interesting. And I am encouraged working with buyers. And like the buyers that we're working with right now, we have some new buyers that we're working with because the market is the way that it is. They were like, we think we're ready to buy.
And they have time. They have time to think about it. They have time to go back for second showings. They have
One
time
of them were on a third showing.
Well, and they have time to calculate, like, if you are not using a lender to calculate different scenarios for you for those concessions and what you do it for, like what you put them towards, like you need a new lender. But that you have time to like run all these scenarios and what does a purchase price reduction look like versus a concession.
It's so important right now.
I know. It's like
just pause and say a shout out, like not a shout out, but more of a public service announcement. If you need a lender, please send us a message. We know a lot of lenders, not just Denver Metro, especially with our connections in Owners Club. I know hundreds of amazing lenders across the country. So it's like, The lender is important. We used to think the lenders were all the same. They all lent the same money. Like, it's just
They
money
are
is money,
not.
and they are not. It is so true. All right, so lender's important, but if I'm a new buyer and
Mhm.
I want to get in the market, besides getting a good team, like, what would you recommend I do as far as how am I going to get a good deal?
I mean, I think one of the first places to go is to look at days on market. I would have
Totally
my
agree.
agent broker be running me a specific list of properties that meet my criteria that have been on the market for more than 60 days. That doesn't necessarily mean right now, as we've seen with so much inventory, it doesn't mean that something's wrong with it. In
No,
2021, it meant something was wrong with it.
it did.
Now, these days, it just means that it hasn't like been match made to its very perfect buyer. So I would be absolutely looking at days on market, maybe even expired listings.
Which is an interesting, and I love that you said that because, again, most agents won't say that. Uh, that is purely an investor mindset that you just said, which I love.
I was
I
like,
fully
that's the right
agree.
answer.
I think everyone should view their house as an investment. It doesn't have to be a true investment as far as that lens only, but it
Sure.
is. And so if you're in a buyer's market right now, like, you should try to get a deal.
And
And there are deals to be had. And like, if they've been on the market for 100 days and you come knocking and say, "Hey, are you willing to play ball?" Like, they might not be able to. If they've already dropped to their floor,
it's
they might
true.
be there. But if they haven't hit their floor yet, they are willing to play ball.
Yeah.
They just are.
And if they're not getting good advice.
Right. And if that's okay, like, I mean, there's
Yeah.
13,000 to choose from.
That's probably what I would do. Yeah.
Oh,
With 13,000, you can go see the next 5 in the same
right.
neighborhood.
Where before it's always like, what's coming soon? What's on the market
Well,
right now?
yeah, and
Let's get
what
in.
and if you're looking at a pocket of a neighborhood and you're waiting for that house to come on the market, now it's like, well, there's probably 3. Like, we just had a buyer walk into a house today for a showing that's actually pending now, and it has been on the market for almost 100 days, and she's like, "They like it." And you're like, "Where you been?
We
We've been
just
on the
accepted
market
an
for
offer
100
this
days and we just
morning.
accepted an offer. Like, why didn't you come last week or 3 months ago?"
But I mean, this property is so good because the buyers that we're under contract with, they came in off of an open house
Which almost never happens.
and they randomly were in the market. We've had 4 open houses at this property since we've been on the market. They've never came in one time, but this open house, they
They did
decided to come in. And it's like there's new buyers coming to market all the time.
all the
And so,
time.
like, that is the encouragement for sellers, is that there's new people that are just starting their search today
Yeah.
and that have never seen your house, even though it's been on the market for 3 months.
You know why people I should say, you know how buyers can't buy your house is if it's not on the market and you
Right.
can't find it. And so, yes, there is a strategy to like pulling your house on the market,
Putting
then
days on market, yeah.
resetting your days. That's like usually a 30-day rest period, kind of across most states and MLSs. But if you don't show up in a search, they can't come find you. If you don't have an open house, they can't come find you.
Yep.
So as an agent, like on the seller side, you should be working your tail off right now and thinking of everything you can possibly do to help your seller.
So true.
Ah,
Anyway,
that's
I
good
thought
stuff.
those stats were really interesting.
You know,
What does it make you think about moving forward? Obviously, we've talked about what we're looking at, and it's always pivoting, I feel like, but
yeah.
man, I'm optimistic. Yeah.
Well, and every year we put together a newsletter, a New Year's newsletter, kind of for our business, and it goes out to friends and family too. And the last couple of years has just been full of bad news. Like,
Market's
this is
been
the worst
hard.
year ever again. And honestly, like, it's just a reminder that's a shift of frame of your outlook. Like, it's not the worst market ever for a buyer.
I
It's a
know.
freaking great market.
Well, I was sitting in a real estate investor meeting, like here locally, here, a couple weeks ago. And I loved it. It was so good because they were talking about how bad the market was and how it's awful and horrible.
Mhm.
And they're investors. And they joked and said, but for us, they said, we have not bought more than we have this year in the past 5 years. The past 5 years
They
we
know
bought,
that.
and they're buying big things, big deals. And he was like, I've bought like 3 deals in the last 3 years because it was so difficult. He said, this year I've already bought 5 deals because it is
I
a
love it.
buyer frenzy right now.
Yeah,
And it's just, what lens are you looking at it through?
I like that.
It's
You know what
very,
I was gonna add when you were talking about Allen and Co. you remember when Jamie Lee Curtis, the yogurt lady, came in to...
The yogurt lady?
Isn't that what she does? She sells Activia. Or she's the
She would love to
spokeswoman.
be called the yogurt lady.
She probably wouldn't. That was rude. Jamie, if you're listening.
Yeah. We do love Activia, though, so we support her.
I do like Activia. We just aged ourselves like 25 years.
Whatever. Our kid likes Activia, the little like drinks.
I know, but she came into the
That's funny.
She came into the shop.
She did.
And I think I sold her over $500 worth of sweatshirts.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, I know who you are, and I'm about to just mop the floor with your credit card. No. I was like, who else needs a souvenir? Let's go to the $85
For those of you
sweatshirt.
Who have no idea what we're talking about. We used to live in Sun Valley, Idaho, and they have this big thing called Allen & Co.
Mm-hmm.
It's this big closed door, private, exclusive event. Like CEOs from all the Fortune 500, Facebook, Amazon, they're all there, wheeling and dealing. Like supposedly, like more deals happen behind those doors than anywhere else.
I believe it.
So anyway, and then Ingrid mops the floor with Jamie Lee Curtis, the yogurt lady's credit card.
Oh my gosh!
All right.
Okay. Anyway,
speaking of yogurt, let's switch to the
book club. So. Actually, when I first heard Mel Robbins' voice, it reminded me of Jamie Lee Curtis's voice. They have the same voice.
It's a great voice.
I know. It is a radio voice.
She's got a radio voice.
So she narrated her own book, The 5-Second Rule. And if you've never read any of her stuff, she also has a book called Let Them.
So good.
Mel Robbins is the author. She is wonderful.
She is
truly wonderful. She's got an incredible story. And so I admire that. I love that she is raw and authentic with it. But today we're talking about her book, The 5-Second Rule. And so for listeners, like Travis and I read a ton of business books. I also read my fair share of all the other genres.
Read and or listen to.
Travis sticks mainly to business and self-development books, entrepreneurial books, real estate books. This one was very applicable.
So applicable.
As an author, she it's easy to listen to because she narrates it herself. However, maybe it could have been an essay. Like the premise of it was yeah.
There's a reason that it came out as a TED Talk first.
For sure.
And the book the book is a spinoff off the TED Talk. It's a short book.
Yeah.
I mean, you can listen to it in like 3 hours.
Yep. But the premise of it is the minute you have an instinct or you think you should do something, right? An instinct, you must move within 5 seconds. Otherwise, your brain talks you out of it.
Yep. And it's like it's all about taking action.
Taking action.
And this idea of like, if you have something that, it can be solved with action, you don't actually have a problem.
Yeah.
Right? It's like, the answer. You just instinctively, your brain wants to protect yourself from being uncomfortable.
Yep.
And so you naturally just don't do it.
And so then in her book, she talks about, okay, and then you immediately count down 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And that process and that action of actually counting down from 5 interrupts hesitation. And so then you are taking the action. So she covers everything, very small examples to big examples. Some of the smaller ones are like, she first discovered it when she was trying to get out of bed, like wake up in the morning.
And not hit the snooze button.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, get out of bed. Talks about it with eating habits. I mean, there's a number of things, but I will say, I love the premise. We've started doing this like when we first read the book earlier this year, and I just think it's wonderful. I mean, I think it's super applicable, something actionable that you can do.
Yeah, it is.
And I was trying to think if there were any instances where I decided something, counted down, and then went back on it and didn't do it. And I don't think there is.
The only thing
There's
for
something
me
about
is
like a commitment to yourself of like.
So I think about 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 in the morning when that alarm goes off every single day. And I still like occasionally hit the snooze button.
Occasionally. But I think it stops procrastination.
But I still think about it. Literally.
Okay.
Like, I just
but then you
hear
don't do it.
Mel Robbins in my head, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
And then why don't you do it?
Because I've trained myself. But like, if I move my alarm, I've learned, if I move my phone, the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, like, it works.
Yeah.
It really does.
I think too, like she talks a lot about in business or life, like if you have these grand ideas or something you've been wanting to get started on, like 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and take that first small step. And then she talks about anxiety with it and like how to get yourself out of like a spiraling thought pattern. There's some other
It's kind of like
examples.
just like taking control with,
Very
that.
small step.
Yeah, very.
Yeah.
And she talks about motivation is unreliable. Action creates motivation. And it's all about
100%
the
agree.
action. And so even if the action is simply, I'm going to calendar that. I thought about it. I'm
Mhm.
going to calendar it,
Yeah.
or I'm going to write it down. Or
Yeah.
like, she talks a lot about like, like having a conversation with somebody.
Yep.
Like I
Mhm.
see them across the room. I'm like, oh, I really want to meet you. I really want to have a conversation,
I'll go
business,
introduce
whatever it
myself.
is. And it's so easy to be like, nah, next time I see him. And the book is full of stories of
Yes.
this in action,
Yeah.
of people like, I did this, I did the 5 4 3 2 1 rule, and then this happened. So it is cool. It is a good it's just a wholesome, like, good, authentic, like,
Practical.
mm,
Yeah. And I would
like,
say, like,
get you going.
if you haven't read the book, read it, go listen to the TED Talk. You would get the majority of the premise.
Hmm.
However, the stories are inspiring.
They
But
are.
I would say, like, try it this next week with like the smallest of things, like that cookie that's laying out on the counter, like 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I'm not going to eat it. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I'm going to throw all those away. Or, or something like exercising or something with your kids. I mean,
I
some
mean, I've
other,
been doing it with the leads that we've been working.
yeah.
Like a call, we get a lead that's somebody that says, "Hey, I want to sell my house,"
Hmm.
and like my natural instinct is I want to deep dive. Like, what is the house? How big is it?
How much is
Where's it
their
at? How much is
mortgage?
the
When did
mortgage?
they?
Like, like all those things. I
Yeah.
want to know. I want to like problem solve first. And I've had to like practice and train myself. Like, no, 5 4 3 2 1. I'm going to call them. I don't know anything about what's going on. It's just like,
Yeah.
hey, what's up?
But
How
you
can
know
I
that
help you?
they fill out a form because they need help.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. No, I like that. And I mean, I was trying to think of like some examples even with the kids where I've used it, but I would say it doesn't have to be these big things. It can be these small things.
Hmm.
Like that first next step. Like I have a big project that's been on my heart that I want to work on. And I'm like, it's just that first next step. And I used it earlier this year. I need to come back to the project, but like just that next thing. You don't have to solve the problem. You don't have to overcome the big addiction. You know, she talks a lot about addiction with
Hmm.
this. You just need to take the first step, which is a small 5-second decision.
Yep. I love it.
I love it. Go read
What
it.
What is the next book on book club for
Yes.
next month?
I feel like you should announce it because it was your book of the year last year,
Yeah,
2
it
years
was
ago.
so good.
Was it 2 years ago? It was 2 years
If
ago,
you're in my inner circle, you probably got one. I
right?
gave a lot of these books out for Christmas
It
gifts.
is The Comfort Crisis by Michael Easter.
Oh, so good.
Uh, really good writing.
It
I
was
dog
such a
on some of these like
You
business
do.
books because they just should not be authors. This one was well written. He is a writer,
He is
so
a
that
journalist,
helps.
yep.
But
It's a fun read, it's a great story, and it'll kick your butt to make you just wanna go conquer the world.
and this is what made you want to run a marathon,
It was the single driving factor of I wanted to do something hard, and I ran a marathon week after reading this
and
book.
it was hard.
So hard. My knees still hurt just talking about
I
it.
know. So we're going to discuss that book on our September 25th episode. Don't miss it. Comfort Crisis by Michael Easter. Let's wrap this
Same thing.
up.
Link will be in the show notes for you to get that one because it really is. I mean, we own an audiobook
Oh yeah, it's
and
good.
physical book, and I've given like 10 of the books away
Yeah.
because I love it. Yeah, that's a wrap.
So,
What are you
oh,
yoked to?
you're going to ask me first?
Yes.
Okay, this is going to sound dumb, but I got a new mop slash vacuum cleaning tool. It's epic. Here's the thing. Firm believer in the Dyson. I love Dyson. Well worth the
I love
price.
it.
They are not cheap,
They're not
okay?
cheap.
But,
You can't even use the word cheap and Dyson together.
right, I got social media'd and
Shout out Katie Mack.
yeah, a girlfriend posted this vacuuming mop. And I was like, this is a hoax.
Seems
There's
too good to be
no
true.
way. Well, then all these other people had messaged on it saying, I love mine. I love mine. I love mine. Okay. Majority are moms. And I'm like, no way. So I type and I'm like, how does this do with pet hair? She's like, I don't know, but I'll find out. Finally, I was like, I'm going to try it. So $150 from Target. We can link it because I don't even know what it's called because it's some weird brand. Anyways, this thing is magic. It is magic. It vacuums and mops at the same time reliably. If you have a very hairy dog like ours, maybe you do a little Swiffer before. Yeah. Truly, like it has cut my cleaning time down when I turn over the ADU by half an hour. I mean, it's incredible. I'm yoked to this dumb thing.
I used it this morning and I was like, this thing is freaking cool.
Right?
It's awesome.
If you have an Airbnb and you are doing your own turnovers, you have to buy this.
You should go buy one right now.
Because you can use your business to buy it and then use it on your house.
It is awesome. That's funny that you're yoked to that, and I am equally yoked to that.
No, what are you? No,
that's not what I'm yoked to. I'm yoked to today. I am yoked to education and just like constantly like feeding yourself information.
Yeah.
Or refeeding it like Comfort Crisis. Like I'm excited to listen to it again.
Right.
Even though I've listened to it 3 times, I'm excited to listen to it again because it's so good. So yeah, just constantly feeding yourself, and learning.
I love that. Awesome.
I think Tony Robbins calls it net time, no extra time. And so like when he's driving, he's listening to something or consuming a podcast or something like that.
Of course he is. I want to run into him on the streets.
Hey, he's got a place here in Coeur d'Alene.
I know. I doubt he's ever on the streets though.
Probably not.
Oh, good episode.
Yeah,
if you like Denver and the market stats that we shared today, or you just want to talk about them, let us know.
Yeah, sign up for our newsletter on our website.
Yeah, sign up for our newsletter. Reach out. I can be found at the Ingrid Hall.
I'm at the Travis Hall or on our online at partnerwithnorth.com. And yeah, we have a guest next week, which will be fun. Next episode. Yeah, we got a couple guests coming up, which will be a lot of fun to start having some more, people on.
Right?
Yeah. So thanks for listening and enjoy your week. Thank you so much for listening to this week's episode of the Yoked Podcast. We hope you enjoyed it.
And as always, be sure to like, subscribe, and follow along as we drop a new episode each week.